Amazing Spider-Man number 801. Man, sometimes the hardest thing in the world of comics is saying goodbye to beloved runs. As much as these comics are still going to exist forever, as much as I still have the long box full of all the comics I've got throughout the decade that Dan Slott's been doing this, as much as I have all the collected editions, it's still hard to not feel this sense of sorrow that this brilliant run has come to an end. But what a way to end it. My God, this book was absolutely perfect. And maybe the most perfect thing about this comic is how Spider-Man barely even has the lead role in it. The lead role of this book, and I'm going to spoiler alert the hell out of this one, this comic's all about this guy, whose name also happens to be Ben. And if you know Spider-Man, you know the significance of the name Ben. I'm getting choked up right now just thinking about it. My God. Spider-Man just happens to be there on this really important day of his life where he needs Spider-Man. And as the story goes on, you get to see this guy's life as he's gone through all of the trials and tribulations of a regular person. And my God, this comic absolutely touched me to the core of my being. I mean, Marcos Martin, this guy is just such a superb and perfect artist for this issue. All I can say about this comic without completely ruining it for anyone is just, if you have any love for Spider-Man and if you have any appreciation for the Dan Slott run, you owe yourself a favor to pick this one up. And this is one of those single issues that I would absolutely recommend, even if you buy the comic book in collected editions. This is the perfect one-shot, done-in-one Spider-Man comic. It's got action, it's got pathos. You know, the action's pretty minor. I mean, I shouldn't say minor. The action is secondary to the characterization of the book. You got great little scenes like this one I'm showing you here. Great little scenes like this stuff, this brilliant double-page spread, where this is sort of a flash through the life of Spider-Man, and this moment at the end, I don't want to ruin the comic, but this beautiful moment that ends with just spoiler alert, this beautiful last page of the comic that's absolutely perfect. Dan Slott, thanks for a decade worth of brilliant Spider-Man comics. I love just about every damn moment of it. Spider-Verse is one of my favorite storylines ever. Superior Spider-Man was absolutely astounding. It ended up giving me a couple of cool HeroClix figures out of it. And, I read the first issue of his Iron Man. Pretty solid. I can't wait for his Fan 4. But, man, a decade worth of Spider-Man. And it's important to note that Dan Slott now has the longest Spider-Man run of all time. For all those curmudgeons, old guys out there, and look, I'm 47, I'm not some young guy, that run around saying nobody sticks with the comic long enough anymore, the creative team just come and go willy-nilly. Not this guy. Say what you will about Dan Slott, but this guy stuck with Spider-Man for a decade, and at the very least, that deserves every comic fan's respect. Love him, hate him, the guy stuck around for a decade. I guess that was my finale. The guy stuck around for a decade. Respect him. There you have it. Thanks for all the fishes, Dan Slott, or at least all the spiders anyways. That was a horrible joke.